Hello everybody, my name is Aceface. Today we're going to be doing some painting of 3D prints. So you maybe, if you've watched some of my previous videos, you've seen I've mentioned that I'm planning on 3D printing ships in EVE Online, and I've made quite a few 3D prints right now, and I want to show you guys, at least me, in part of what I'm doing to make it into a fully fledged 3D model. So here you can see it's quite obvious. Here's a Purifier. This Purifier 3D model is what we're going to be painting today. In my opinion, it looks really good. There we go, focus a little bit. You can see this model right here. In relation to my hand, I've got pretty normal sized hands. This ship is 100 millimeters long, so 10 centimeters long. It's got a primer on it, actually. So this is not the color I plan to make it. I plan to color it the cold iron skin with this matte black paint right here. And there are two reasons why I want to do that. First off, it is my favorite skin in the game, but it is also, in fact, a very easy skin to paint as well, because it's basically just one color. You could say it's nothing too advanced, no advanced patterns or anything. So it's like both goes hand in hand. So you can see here, it looks a bit rough on the bottom maybe. I tried to cover it up with this primer, because this primer acts as something that you add to it, like this white color. Because the original, you can see some 3D models over there I've printed. Like this white paint here, this is a primer. This makes it so that actual paint, like this one, this matte over here, black over here, will stick to it, because normal paint does not really stick to 3D prints that well. So this special primer, you could say, is kind of like a sticky sort of paint to allow other paint to stick to this. So this is, we're going to be painting then with a matte black in this video right here. The primer also acts sort of as a way to cover up, in fact, the grooves, because 3D printing works and they print stuff in like little layers. And sometimes you can get a bit of gaps in between, but it's maybe a little bit harder to tell, even if I focus in. There's not so obvious gaps. There's a lot more obvious if I don't have any primer there. So it kind of fills in a little bit. You can maybe see the gaps here. But even then, it does fill it in, and I don't think you'll be able to see them when I add the matte black color. Like, it feels very smooth, these grooves here. Usually they wouldn't feel that smooth. You'd be able to tell that there's different layers. This took a bit of a while to do, because basically what I've done is I've added first primer, left it to dry. No, actually, I sandpapered it first, because I need to get this thing to be smooth, to remove those edges of the layers of the 3D print. Then I added primer to fill in the gaps. Then I let it dry. Then I sandpapered again, because this like further makes it a bit smoother. Then I added another layer of primer, so it's like kind of making it extra smooth, because you've got to have them really smooth on our ships, right? So we're going to be then painting this here, but I wanted to show you guys a little bit of my setup as well in the meantime. This is what I usually record on this monitor right here. If we just focus in a little bit better now, my phone has a kind of a weird focus. Then we've got this second one here, which I often put Ezekiel on or Eve Praisel on from time to time. And we've got a very good coffee mug, or not coffee mug, but it could be a coffee mug if this was earlier during the day, but this is in fact a tea mug, because it is tea time right now for me while I'm recording this video. And these are the other 3D prints I've made. So you can see this is a boat which is called Benchy. This is what you use to benchmark prints, and it is usually what is like gives a good example of how good your 3D printer is. Mine seem to be turning out really well. And then we've got all these little tiny purifiers right here. You can see here, you can make a little bit of a meme right here. So you see it, don't talk to me or my sons ever again. That's basically what this purifier is saying. But we've got these tiny little purifiers here. And the reason I made this bigger one was because originally I wanted to make this big one, but I also wanted to make a tiny one for multiple reasons. I wanted to be able to see what kind of level of detail I could achieve even at small scales. Because the thing is, I want to make... Oh, can you please focus? I want to like build a fleet of ships eventually. I mean, it'll take a very long time, but eventually. And I want everything to be to scale. So if I print the frigates as small as possible, because, they're going to be the smallest ships, then I want to see how they'll turn out, because I don't want it to I print these really tiny frigates and they look really crap. I think this looks pretty decent right here. I mean, I don't think it looks too bad. But I think that, especially since the Purifier is one of my favorite ships, I had to make it a little bit bigger. But if I were to make a battleship according to this size, we're talking about over 1 meter right here. That's just it's just the way it will work if I want to do everything to scale. And then also a reason is that the Purifier, it just seems to be printing very well on the like the 3D printer. So I used it a bit as sort of as an indirect benchmark as well. That was more fun to me because it always seems to print really well. So I could know if there's something wrong with my printer or the 3D model, because you can sometimes have a little bit of a problems with the 3D models you import into the 3D print program. Sometimes the EVE Online models can be like lacking a certain layer, or they can have a very thin wall, which the 3D model artists don't care about, because in the game physics doesn't really matter. Only the appearance of the 3D model matters. But it could be that they've got like a little wall somewhere inside that there's really thin. In the game it doesn't matter, but in real life it'll be really like the whole model will fall apart. And a good example is this paladin right here. This is a paladin I made. I wanted to see if I could actually print a paladin without it falling apart, and it did print whole. Some parts did fall apart, but it did mostly print it whole, so I'm glad about that. But what you can see here is, you can see that there's a little line right here. And this is, I think, to do with that there is a bit of a pixel missing or something like that from the paladin, which is not really noticeable in the game, but it has something to do with the way the 3D program interprets the 3D model in EVE Online. So it looks good in the game, but the actual 3D model itself, there's a little bit of a so-called error, you could say, with it. So that's why I think it made like this. An even better example, I don't have it right now, but it's another ship that I made that was a Retribution, and the Retribution, it had the whole thing fell apart. It just split in two because there was a tiny wall that was really thin, and there was nothing really supporting it from the inside. It just interpreted as something hollow inside. Now in game that would be fine, but in reality that really didn't turn out to be too well. You can also see that a few of these armor plates are missing from the front, and you see these armor plates here, they're missing. It has to do with that they're very flimsy and fell off. If I really wanted to fix this, I could print them out and stick them on with super glue. But I think it looks alright, and I just really wanted to test this. I don't really think I'll plan on painting this one. I would want to make a probably big one if I would want to paint it. The microphone I'm using is this Shure SM7B microphone right here. It's a pretty damn beastly microphone, but it's very I need to be very close to it for it to sound good, so I can't stay too far away for it without it being completely quiet. And then we've got the 3D printer in all its glory here. The original Prusa i3 MK3S Plus. A really good printer, very expensive but very reliable, and seems to be printing with pretty good quality indeed. I've got a little bit of a stand I made out of a Lego here to put my camera while we do the printing. The painting. So you know what, let's get to the painting right now. Okay, so this is really like a ghetto setup I've got right here. Just a little piece of paper. You can really tell that I'm not really used to this kind of stuff. I'm not at all a big painter. I like to do everything digitally. But the thing is, there's a first time for everything. And I want to rather do something than do nothing at all and wait forever to get everything perfect. That's a bit of the way I run with YouTube. I just like to do stuff, even if I maybe not got the best microphone quality. I like to do it anyway. At least in my initial videos, the quality was not good. But I learned valuable lessons doing that kind of those videos in the beginning, even though my microphone quality was really bad. And then I improved over time, and it worked out pretty well. So we've got a bit of this matte black acrylic paint right here, perfect for the cold iron skin. We've got this paintbrush here that my sister lent me. In fact, she's an artist, so she has a good stock of good paintbrushes that I did not have access to or hadn't bought yet. Probably if I do this more, I'll just buy my own paintbrushes, but she lent me this. This is like for the first time ever I'm printing with this matte black color, because you can see right here, it's like completely freshly opened, this matte black color. So this will hopefully go pretty good. We won't completely ruin it. I mean, there's not really much to ruin, to be honest, because it's just a case of painting all this paint right here. Now I want you guys to see it and not have my hand in the way. But we'll try to do it like this, because I'm not doing a whole lot of Ace Face in real life, or like just in general videos in real life. So we'll get used to it. We'll get used to it eventually if we do more of these in the future. Okay, let's put more of these strokes right here on the torpedo launchers, I had to manually, in a software called Blender, add the torpedo launchers to the Purifier, because the software I used to export the Purifier 3D model, it did not have any, it doesn't have any turrets attached to them. It's just the Purifier model itself. So I had to attach them in a 3D program called Blender. You can like manipulate 3D models there. You can just spread strokes here. Just keep this going. Maybe a little bit. We can even do some bigger spreads right here. To be honest, what I should really have is a really nice light to be able to see this properly. I don't have a good lamp here to see stuff. We'll improve over time. I'll find ways to make this good. I think what I should do is just find a dedicated table and make it to like an art station, you know, just where you paint all these kind of cool stuff. I hope you guys like this stuff, because I think this, to me at least, this is very fun, and I like doing in real life, like making stuff. So I hope you guys at least like this too, because it's EVE related. And especially what I see a lot is on the EVE Online Reddit, I see a lot of people that post pictures of 3D models or 3D prints, but they never paint them. I think it's good to paint your 3D models, guys, or your 3D prints, guys, because it gives a bit of character to them. So let's go and paint this. There. Hope it's not too bad in the angle here. I'm not used to filming this stuff in real life. Well, I could maybe in fact print a proper tripod for my phone, or I could just buy one, you know. Okay, there we go. But I think it'll be quite cool to print one, because I've seen people, they have printed like tripods for phones. These really good ones as well that you can manipulate really to a large degree. Oh, I'm getting all my fingerprints right here. Ideally, I would need some kind of thing to place this on, some kind of plastic holder that holds my fingerprints, don't get in the way, because they're like messing up the paint a lot right here. You can see that. Oh, there, get a little bit in there. There we go, put it here, okay. Don't want to ruin this coat of paint. Okay, but I think this looks pretty good. I just really don't want to get my desk messy. Okay, if we do something like this, I think this will be good for now. At least the top will be alright. And if something's missing, I'll just have to repaint it later. Alright guys, so now it's in fact a few days later. I've been extremely busy these last couple of days. So I've not really had a lot of opportunities to do a lot of painting, but it also was quite suited because I wanted my layer of paint to dry properly. So you can see here, it's got like a pretty nice little black tone right here. I didn't expect it to be, I thought it was going to be a bit more matte looking. I think it is, I think it's maybe looking a little bit just too standard black, but to be honest, this is the first time I'm ever doing something like this, so I don't really mind. So now what I want to do is I just want to fill in the tiny gaps that I've got that have really like not really been hit properly, and I've got this special brush here that's like a bit of a rubber sort of thing here, so I think this will help a little bit to do the little details, or not details because I think I'll do that next time, but the small parts that have not really been hit by the black paint. So if we go here, just fill this in a little bit. If we go here, you can see it on the torpedo launcher, there's a small little spots here that have not been filled in. So if we go here, but I'm thinking of when I do the details, so there's not going to be a whole lot of details, to be honest, because first of all, this is a whole new process for me, and also it is a pretty simple like skin that it's using, so it's not really like some sort of spectacular paint job this is going to have. So there's not going to be like any magnificent pattern. I was thinking maybe of doing it like a canid skin, to be honest, because that is, you know, pretty suited for, you know, the black, and it's like pretty simple, you know, it's just black and silver, and I also think it looks pretty good. But I don't know, I just thought maybe it would be better just to go with my favorite skin in the game so I could relate more to it. I mean, it's not like going to require some amazing like work or anything, but I think though that if I did go with a with a carnage skin, it would look a lot more impressive because you could actually see like the pattern a lot more prominent. Like here, it just looks like a very plain black color, and the only thing that will give it some life will be the tiny subtle details I add with like a little bit of grey or white, like the kind of windows. You know, like ships in the online, they usually have like a bit of lights, like small lights on them that are sort of like windows. Like in this case, we would have some kind of lights here. Like here on the front, it would be, you know, where like it's supposed to be like a cockpit of some sort. So that's kind of what will give the thing life. And to be honest, that's not a whole lot of stuff to give the model or the print a lot of life, if I'm going to be completely honest. So I think if I did go with a carnage skin, it would be, it would give this whole piece a lot more light, and a lot more life than it would have had with just the cold iron skin. Well, I'll see. I think though I'm gonna just stay true to what I decided on in the beginning, and just to go with the cold iron. I think that'll be what I'll stay with. But we'll see. Got a bit of all these like small places hard to get painted. Back here in the engines, it's gonna be blue. Because, you know, the engines of the Amarians, or I think even all ships in the online, they've got like blue engine trails. So that's something that'll be back there at least. Okay, it's almost done. Just a little bit here. There's a tiny little portion here that's not been painted properly. Need to be quite good with the fingers here to be able to get all these small patches. To be honest, no one's really looking around in this area of the ship anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I like to, you know, get things done properly. I think this, looks pretty good. Cold iron purifier right here. Gonna have some more details next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.